Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is James Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode number 270, and this is my second take trying to make sure that I started the show. Started a little late because I forgot to hit go live. So we are live, and we are with you for the full hour. We'll be answering all of your questions from now until 4 o'clock p.m. Central. Then we'll be taking a few days off and back on Halloween for a special holiday edition of the Immigration Answer Show. That'll be episode 271. If you're not already on our texting list, you might want to get on there because I might do a pop-up show this weekend. We'll see, depending on time. But if you text the word show to 314-470-3300, you'll get a text whenever we're going live, or if we change the start time, which happens sometimes because I'm a busy dude. Sometimes we cancel the show, sometimes we add a show. And I might just do one this weekend when I'm on the way or in Virginia. I thought tomorrow Amani and I are going to be in the car with the Nordator, and it might be fun to have a live show from the car if we can pull it off. In the meantime, if you haven't gone into the waiting room already, go ahead and get in the waiting room. Let us know where you're watching from. Leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm going to go ahead and get started right away since this is our last show of the week. And first up is Chimobi.
Mr. J,
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Great. Where are you watching from?
I'm watching you from Towson, Maryland.
Nice. What can I help you with?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sure.
I've been in your show, and they have sent me a letter email for how I will proceed, Yeah, but when I went through it, there is a little confusion for me. There are things that I do not understood, okay? And what I do not understood is I have two letters because of my wife and my newborn kids. So both of them said adult. In my wife, it said adult spouse, and for the child, it's also said adult child. So I emailed them back, and they sent me a fresh one, and it's still telling me the same thing. So I do not understand it. I said, okay, I will come back to the show because I actually reviewed those agreements today again. It's also telling me the same thing. And second question I want to ask is
wait, just real quick. Are you saying emails? Are you saying emails from our office or emails from USCIS? Oh, he locked up. Uh-oh. Huli, can you get Daniel to reach out to Chimobi right away and figure out what's going on with that? And tell him I'm sorry for any headaches. That's weird. All right, because we have a special child contract, so they must have sent in the wrong one. Let's say hi to Nasir. Hi, Nasir.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
My question is, my brother got his brother applied from US. They got interview in Dhaka. It's coming up next month. But his son lives in US as a student. Can he do his application from US, not going back Dhaka?
He can. It'll be a lot easier if he goes back.
But he has a student visa, and also he has to do the medical, and he's studying at the University of Michigan.
So, how old is he?
He's 18. He's a second-year student.
So your thought is that okay, so I have a couple of questions. The first question is, and so this 18-year-old, I'm just going to call him Abdullah. I don't know his name. I don't need to know his name. We'll just call him Abdullah, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Abdullah got an F1 visa, right?
Yeah.
When Abdullah applied for his F1 visa, Abdullah filled out a form called a DS-160. And what I want to know is, on that DS-160, did Abdullah tell the State Department that an immigrant visa had been filed for his benefit?
I have to check. Actually, I'm not sure.
It's really important because they might say that he misrepresented himself when he got the student visa, because usually they won't give student visas to people who have a pending green card application or immigrant visa application.
That's a good question. Yes, I'll check.
Okay, but in answer to your question, the idea that you're going to be able to get you so the I-130 has been approved. He's a derivative of the parents. So I guess the thought is that the parents will go to the interview with any other siblings back in Bangladesh, that they'll all get immigrant visas except for him. And then somehow he's going to apply for adjustment here based on the approved I-130 and get them to pay attention to it. I just think that's really going to be hard to pull off. I mean, legally, in theory, that works. But I just think in reality, what he might have to do is let mom and dad come on the green card and then have them file an I-130 for him, or he could file for adjustment based on that I-130, or what I would probably do is both, because the petition filed by his uncle might not ever get caught up, and he wants to have something safe on both ends. So I'd probably I would want to talk to these people. This is not an easy thing, what you're talking about. I've actually never done it. What you're proposing, we've never done. I'm sure that the rules say that you can do it, but I'm also sure, and I know, that getting some derivative beneficiary who has an I-130 approved through his father's brother, getting them to pay attention to that for a 485 for him to adjust in Michigan, I think is going to be really tough. And it's going to be extra tough if he understandably marked no on that did anyone ever file an immigration benefit for you, because that's arguable because it was filed for his father and he's covered by it, and you don't want that misrepresentation because that could cause all kinds of problems.
So another question is, if he goes back and get to the interview and get approved, but his father is a government employee, so he cannot fly right away. So is it going to be a problem when he comes back?
So what's that all about? What do you mean that?
Now he's going to have, one is the permanent resident visa, the other one is his F1 visa.
No,
So-
why can't the dad come right away? This really pisses me off when people do this. They finally have their immigrant visa and then they say they want to stick around for a while and use it when they feel like it.
Because as a government employee, you have to have like a government permission, or you have to resign the job, then come back, and it will take time.
But like, how much time are you talking?
It's at least 3 months to 4 months, because otherwise you lose all kind of benefits.
Okay, and then, well, who cares if he has benefits if he's moving to America?
Okay, all right.
But wait, then even on top of that, even if that's what he wants to do, then what's the deal with the son coming back home? What do you mean?
He's going to have a student visa as well as the permanent resident visa, right? And his passport.
Well, he's not going to get the permanent resident visa and his passport unless he comes back. But you said he wasn't going to do that.
If he goes back, attend with the family. That was my question.
Oh, if he went that way, okay.
Yeah.
Is his current F1, is his F1 visa still in his passport? Has it expired yet, or is it still current?
No, it's valid for 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, Nasir, this is hard for me to answer on a call. I would want to talk everything through with everybody. But I think having talked it through just with you, I'd probably, as complicated as it is, if we don't want him to miss any time in school, I'd probably just keep him here and try to get a green card here, I think.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right. Thanks.
That was Nasir. All right, let's say hi to Abdul. Hi, Abdul.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good so far. Thank you for all that you're doing for the immigrant community. So I got a few questions. I had an affirmative asylum case, and I was interviewed at the Chicago field office. and now I moved to LA, and recently I received a communication saying that my case was transferred to a new jurisdiction, which is LA. So my questions will be, do I need to inform the new office, which is LA, about this change, or is it automatic?
Okay, so you filed for asylum. Have you had your interview?
Yeah, I did 4 months ago, and I was waiting for a decision. So in the meantime, I had kind of a force majeure, so I have to change my residence. So I moved to Vegas now.
To Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did you do your interview?
Minneapolis. Actually, they came from Chicago office.
Yeah.
I had it in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
When did you move to Las Vegas?
A month ago.
And did you notify? So when you have asylum, there's a separate way. You have to notify the asylum office and you have to notify USCIS. Did you notify both that you moved?
Actually, I only feel like the AR 11-4.
Yeah.
And they respond saying that there is a new jurisdiction, which is LA.
Yeah, I would still go ahead and notify the Chicago office because your case is so close to a decision. I would notify them. I mean, it's going to screw up your case. It's going to slow down your asylum case a lot, but
Yeah.
you still have to notify them.
So I have to notify Chicago instead of LA office.
Yeah, Chicago.
Okay, perfect. So I would proceed to my second question. So since it took like 4 months in Chicago after my interview, would it still be decided by Chicago, or they would simply send it to LA? And the follow-up question would be, would I be expected to have like a second interview as well?
Yes and yes.
There will be a second interview.
I think, because if Chicago felt they hadn't finished the case, and people, you got to remember, people are lazy, right? And if they say, oh, hey, guess what, Abdul moved, we don't have to decide his case, let's ship it off to LA and send it to them. So then LA gets it, and they're like, well, we never talked to Abdul. I don't know if I like this guy or not. I can look at the notes, but I don't know if he should get asylum, and that's a big decision. So we're just gonna have him come back in and ask him a few extra questions. That's sort of how that goes. Okay.
A final question. I haven't received any priority date on my receipt document, but would it affect like my priority date in considering my case?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
On the document, there is no priority date. Like when I received, actually the receipt date is 2021 December. November 2nd, 2021. That was like the receipt date for my application. So the change of jurisdiction to LA, would it affect like the priority date for my case?
It won't. So no. You won't get a new priority date, but just know that the LA Asylum Office, I think, is one of the biggest ones of all, the busiest ones of all. So it'll just be slower.
Okay. I see. Thank you so much, Jim. And maybe a final follow-up question. I have to confirm, or I have to notify Chicago office as well?
Chicago, yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. You have a great day, sir.
Thanks, Abdul. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, that was Abdul. Let's say hi to Abdul.
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, good, thank you. I'm a very big fan of you. First of all, I watch your show for it's been like 1 year. I've been watching your show.
Awesome.
Assalamu alaikum also. It's like a pleasure to talk to you. My question here is, my wife is in Pakistan, in Islamabad embassy. She's been, I'm a citizen of United States, and she has been waiting for, it's going to be in November 24th. It's going to be 1 full year. She's just waiting for her interview.
No interview yet.
Yeah, no, it's been 1 year. Yeah, like it's going to be in 24th of November. It's going to be 1 full year, yes.
Since documentary qualified, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So what can I do about it? Like I can do, like, I know they are running very behind. So what what you think, what can I do for the, I can send a expedite request or something, or I can apply for visit visa or something?
She's not going to get a visit visa. The expedite request probably won't go anywhere. You could sue them, But Islamabad, like you said, is really backed up, and we're having much more success on the lawsuits after they've had the interview and then sit on it than when they just never scheduled the interview. So I think you're just waiting.
So yeah, it's no other way, basically. That was
And we can
question.
sue them. We can sue them, but I think it might be a little early.
Yeah. So can you help with these type of? My second question is, let's say if I talk to you guys, like if I contact you guys, is there any way you guys can help me out with like whenever the suing procedure or whatever procedure is?
Yeah, I would say if it gets to 18 months, then we should sue them.
After 18 months. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your help. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Thank you.
Alaikum salam, Abdul. See you, buddy. All right, let's say hi to Carolina. Carolina.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. I just have a question about the friend's case. Um, so actually, she's almost 22 years old next month. But her parents, she want to file I-130 for both parents, but they are here since around 2000, but they entered to the country without any status. So her concern will be to adjust their status. They have to came back to their home country to get the benefit.
What country are they from?
Salvador.
Okay. And do they have TPS?
No.
They've never applied for TPS?
No.
Why?
I don't really know.
Okay. Well, why don't you have her and her parents call the office and we can talk it through with them?
Oh, all right.
I mean,
yeah.
Just tell them you're thinking about applying for TPS, thinking about filing for I-130s. Are there any like medical conditions in the family? Anything where anybody's unusually sick or anything?
No.
Okay. Yeah, just have her call the office and set up a meeting maybe with Paul, and we can see if we can help them.
All right. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much. You got it. Have a good day. All right. All right. Let's say hi to Mohamed. Hi, Mohamed. You're on mute. Mohamed, you're on mute.
I apologize. I appreciate your time and efforts here. I have an interview on November 6th, so it's basically after 10 days, and it happened really fast. Honestly, I applied on July 6th. I filled my N400 application, and I live in a place where it's full of immigrants. Basically, it's Metro Atlanta area in Georgia.
So can we back up a little
Atlanta area in Georgia.
So can we back up a little bit? Just sorry to interrupt you. How did you get your green card?
Through marriage, through my spouse.
And so that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years, 5 months.
Okay, so this tells me, unless you tell me otherwise, this tells me you have a pretty clean N400. But go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First question is when I filled the application, I have attached the marriage certificate, which is the translation of marriage certificate, and honestly, I cannot find the original one. So, is it okay if I take a copy with me, or should I get another translation? And would that be okay for them?
So what you have the original? So you have the original marriage certificate in Arabic.
I have it in Arabic, and I had the translation with me. I have it scanned, but I couldn't find it. Or the original one, I just can't find it.
I would spend a little money, get it officially translated. I would show up, and if they say, "Can I see your marriage certificate?" Show it the Arabic one, show them the old translation, and then if they said, "Well, where's the original?" and say, "Well, I lost the original, but I did get another official translation. Here it is." So don't like drop it on their desk right away. But if it becomes an issue, then you have a backup, and you want to do that because if it costs you $100, it might be the difference between you finding out that day that you're going to naturalize versus finding out 6 months later.
Yes. Yeah. My other question is, I have stayed out of the U.S. for more than 6 months, less than a year. It was COVID year, 2020. So
all right. So
there was a travel ban where I was staying. There was travel ban. I got all the embassy announcements, the U.S. embassy announcements in that country, and I have it all with me. So
that's okay, but you need more than that. So Mohanad, your whole case is going to be about that trip. The interview is going to be the interview is going to be the test, which will take 2 minutes, the N400, which will take 10 minutes, and then you're going to do 20 minutes on this trip.
Okay.
So you got to be ready. Do you know what the big question is going to be?
Yeah. Why did you stay there for?
Nope. No, you have that covered. You have that covered, but that's not the right question. Would you like me to tell you what the right question is?
Yes. Yes, please.
The right question is, have you abandoned your residency in Atlanta when you went overseas? Okay. So let's talk about two different Mohanads. We have Mohanad A and Mohanad B. Mohanad A kept his property, kept his bank account, kept working from overseas, didn't close up shop, didn't take all of his earthly possessions with him back home. And that's one way. And then the other one, sold everything, canceled his lease, closed his bank account, then went back home. I suspect that if you got stuck back home because of COVID, that you weren't planning on being gone that long. So plane ticket that you originally bought, efforts you made to come back, those postings from the State Department are fine, but you also need to show all of the things that you kept in Atlanta. And for me, I would take pictures. If I had an apartment, I would take pictures of my apartment. I would have my lease. I would do everything possible to show that I stayed connected to Georgia, because here's the thing. Here's what you need to understand. If you're gone for more than 6 months, then they have what's called a presumption. Do you know what a presumption is?
No, not really.
A presumption means that they assume or pretend that you abandoned your residency and went back home, and you have to prove otherwise. In other words, you start off behind. It's not 50-50. It's oh boy, Mohanad is back home. He's not in America, and so you gotta balance things out, and you got to get it back over 51%. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
So that's what you need to think about, because the State Department stuff, they know that there was COVID. That's fine, but that's like too general. It's not specific enough about you. Was your spouse overseas with you during that time?
Yes, she was.
Okay. So hopefully, do you feel like you have some good evidence that you kept ties in Atlanta?
Yeah, I have. I have the bank account. I have a car. It all stayed here.
What about the lease or property or what?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I have a lease.
When did you leave the United States?
I left on January 16th and came back on December 30th.
Of 20?
Yes.
So that was like almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you bought your ticket to leave and go home on January 16th, 2020, when was your return flight originally scheduled?
On May 15th.
Okay. So you were planning on a 4-month trip. And then, of course, everything went bad. I'll always remember. It was like the middle of March 2020. So then did you ever try to buy a ticket back to America between May and December?
Yeah, I tried, but there was a travel ban. I was in Saudi Arabia, and they were very strict. Like there was no traveling allowed.
How about getting out?
Yeah, even getting out, it was very hard. There was like few trips, and it was already like always booked. It was very hard to get back.
Was that a Saudi rule or an American rule?
It's Saudi, but I have the announcements. It was already like posted on the U.S. Embassy website.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Mohammed. Let us know how it goes. Okay.
I will. I will. Thanks a lot for advice.
See you, buddy. Good luck. I hope you win. All right. Hopefully, Mohammed will win. You know, I didn't want to tell Mohammed, but I had a client named Mohammed. He was a really good guy. My only other Mohammed, and we actually kept him from getting deported. And then about a year later, he got in a car accident and passed away. So that was really sad. So, in any event, Lerhamu to that Mohammed. Good luck to our Mohammed. Hope it all goes well. I think he's going to get it. He seems like a smart and articulate guy. We've been to that Atlanta field office. They're pretty fair in the scheme of things. I think he's got it. Just make sure that he is ready to talk about that, because I could see a lot of people just showing up. Oh, here you go. State Department said I couldn't come back. Sorry about that. That's not going to cut it. And that's true in most cases, that you can't just say general rules about things that you heard. You got to talk about your case. What did you do during COVID, when COVID first started happening? People were saying, Jim, I'm stuck outside the United States and I have a green card. What should I do? Well, document all of your efforts to come back. Like, even back then, I was worried that they were going to start using this against people. Does that make sense? All right. Good luck to Mohammed. Let's say hi to Raphael. Hi, Raphael.
Hello, Mr. Jim. How you going, sir?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. So I've got a question. So I've got a fiance who's a daughter of an American citizen, right? And she's got a scheduled interview coming. And I heard that if she like mentions that she's about to get married, I could be attached to the process. So is that really a thing? Should she really mention me, or could that like be in the way of her process? I just want to make sure.
So her parents are U.S. citizens or green card holders?
Her dad's an American citizen.
And he filed an I-130 for her, and she's overseas?
Nah, she's in America right now on a tourist visa, but she's going back to Brazil to the interview in Rio de Janeiro.
Right. Okay, so she's in a consular process, and she's over 21.
Yes, sir.
And she's so she's the adult child of a U.S. citizen, and she's unmarried.
She's unmarried right now, yes, sir. But we are engaged and planning to get married pretty soon. So they told me, oh, that's a good thing. So she could actually.
Who's they?
So I heard from like a paralegal that's a friend in the family. That,
you mean like a notario?
I think so, yeah. So she said that, but I wasn't sure. So I just want to make sure. That's why, I came all the way here to make sure with you if that's really a thing, or I don't want to be in the way of her process, But I heard I could get attached when she says she's about to get married. She's still unmarried.
So this blows my mind. Well, okay, first of all, in answer to your question, the answer is no. Mentioning you can't be added to her application, right? So here's something I want you to understand. So right now, she's the unmarried son or daughter of a U.S. citizen, which means she's in the F1 category. Right now, they're working on cases. They're giving visas to case. I'm looking at my visa bulletin. They're working on cases that were filed in December of 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
If she got married, she would then be in the F3 category, and that would put her back 6 years in line. So let her get her visa, let her come to the United States, and then you can get married. Do not get married until she's inside the United States and has her green card in hand. Anything else, you're going to be in big trouble. If they ask her if she has a boyfriend, or if they ask her if she has a fiance, she should say yes. She shouldn't lie about that. But just having a boyfriend won't screw up her visa. If you get married, that'll screw things up. And even if you get married after she gets the visa and before she comes to the United States, that'll screw things up. So don't do that either.
All right. So should we she come back to the US and then we get married?
Yeah. After she gets her green card.
All right, beautiful. And should I stay here or go back to Brazil in that whole process going on? Like,
what do you have right now?
So I'm on a tourist visa as well in the US, but we're planning on living here in America. We really like the country and everything, you know. So we actually planning on you know living here, and yeah, that's why we are concerned and you know trying to find ways to do this.
So do you have a multiple entry visa?
No, I'm on a tourist visa right now, but I haven't overstayed. Never. I just, you know, every time I come here, it's on the right.
Right, but is it one entry at a time, or is it like a 5-year visa?
I think it's I have a 10-year visa.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. A 10-year
Okay,
visa.
so here's what I would say. Focus on getting her stuff squared away. Once she has her green card, then call me back and I'll tell you what to do next.
Okay, perfect. So she shouldn't even mention me in the interview, right?
Only if it comes up.
Okay, perfect, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Rafael. See you, buddy.
See ya.
But we're getting all kinds of good questions today. Let's say hi to Lamar. Hi, Lamar.
Hi, Mr. Jim. Thank you for accepting my request to be with you on the show.
Sure.
Mr. Jim, I have very simple questions.
Okay.
I misrepresented myself as a married person in my B2 visa.
Sure.
And as a married person, but when I'm not married, I am married to United States citizens. She's petitioning for me to go back to the United States because I was living there and I was deported. And now I get
hold on. You can't just skip over that. How did you okay, so you misrepresented yourself on the B2 and they gave you that visa, right?
Uh-huh.
And then when did you arrive in the United States?
2013.
And then when did you get deported?
2019.
And that was for overstaying the visa?
Overstaying the visa, yes.
Any other reason for the deportation?
No, they approved my first I-130, then they revoked it because of this misrepresentation.
Was that a marriage to a different person or no?
It's a person that I went with to the embassy. We presented ourselves that we are married, but we are not.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So how many times in your life have you actually been married?
Before my US citizen?
No, in your whole life, how many times have you gotten married to somebody on Earth?
Two times.
And have you been married to 2 different US citizens?
My first wife was Irish, and I divorced her, and I have the divorce decree.
Irish, like Ireland Irish, or Irish American?
Yes, Ireland, yes.
Okay, so that didn't have anything to do with US immigration.
That's I have no issue with that marriage. I have the divorce decree and everything is fine.
Got it. Okay, so when did you got the visit visa in 2013?
Yes, I got the visa in 2013, yes.
All right, so just let me make sure. So 2013, you go to the embassy. What country is the embassy?
Tunisia, Tunis.
Okay, so you guys go to the embassy in Tunisia. You bring a woman with you. You say, hey, this is my wife, and I'm trying to get a B2 visit visa. I assume that means you gave them a marriage license?
No, they didn't. I didn't give any kind of paper.
Okay. So then you come to the United States, you overstay your visa, and then you marry a U.S. citizen, right?
Yes, correct.
And I'm just going to call that person Mary. So Lamar marries Mary, and then when did you marry Mary?
I was married in 2015.
And then Mary's a U.S. citizen and files an I-130 petition for you, which originally got approved, but then it got revoked because of this misrep.
Yes.
Okay, and this was all before you got deported, right?
During the proceeding, because during the proceeding they revoked because I was placed in the proceeding before I get married.
Okay, so you get put into removal. Okay, when did you get put into removal?
I was placed in removal in 2015, and I get married in 2015.
How long after you got married did you get put into removal? Like a couple months?
Couple of months.
And so then you had an I-130 interview?
Yes, we went to the interview, and after
which field?
USCIS, yes, office.
Which field office?
Office of Portland, Oregon.
Okay, and then so USCIS approves the I-130, and then they revoke it after that.
Yes, they revoke it after that, and the reason that I am married to other person, and my marriage is not valid for immigration purposes.
Right. So then so you get deported. You get deported for all that, for the overstay and okay. So now Mary has filed a new I-130 petition for you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we filed it 3 years ago in 2018.
And that's still pending? 2018 was 4 years ago.
I just received a request of evidence today.
What did they ask for? So here's the problem. Here's the problem. So when you have a fake marriage at the embassy, they can treat that two ways. One is they can say, "Oh, well, we believe you that you weren't really married to that person that you came to the embassy with. We believe you now." But the dirtier trick, the easier thing for them to do is to act like that was a real marriage. And then say, "Hey, Lamar, if you want to get this new I-130 approved, you've got to prove to us that your marriage to the woman back in Tunisia is over." Like they act as if that marriage was real, and that's how they fuck you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're doing? Is that what the RFE is? "Hey, Lamar, show us that you're divorced from the person you came to the embassy with in Tunisia."
Yes, my question was like, what kind of paper I can submit to resolve this issue that I never been married? That marriage is not even in my record. I registered my marriage with my wife back in home here, so I have the marriage certificate with my U.S. citizen wife. I have my birth certificate, doesn't show that marriage at all. So what kind of paper I can submit to resolve this issue of misrepresentation?
I don't think this is a matter of. I don't think this is an issue for a U.S. immigration lawyer. What I think this is, it's a marriage expert in Tunisia. You need to see, like where I live here, I could go to Missouri and get proof that I've never been married in Missouri. You have to figure out, can I get proof in Tunisia to show that I was never married in Tunisia? And then you are gonna need an immigration lawyer in America to sort of get a long affidavit from you. Do you still know where this person is who acted like she was your wife? Do you know who that was?
No, because she never traveled to the United States. She's a random girl that I know. We went together, we get the visa together, but I never see her again. She never traveled to the United States.
Right, but you couldn't find her if you had to?
I'm not sure if I can find her. I've been 7 years in the United States, and now I'm in Qatar. I travel a lot, and she's in Tunisia. I'm in Qatar now.
Yeah, so you need to hire some expert in Tunisian marriage law to see whether or not they can find some proof from the government. Like it'd have to be a certified record of the government somehow that you've never been married in Tunisia. That might be impossible. It might be impossible. I don't know.
Is a birth certificate not enough?
No. As things stand right now, the U.S. government believes, because you told them that you were married when you showed up in 2013. They're going to take you at your word so that you can't get a visa based on your marriage to Mary in 2015. They don't want you to come back. So you've got a very high burden.
I would like to present me in this request of evidence, if you can represent me for this case.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have contacts in Tunisia?
I got embassy of my country here in Qatar. I can go to them and ask for any documentation you ask me to do it, or my family can do it from back home too.
Okay, send us an email.
But the problem, I didn't find any government paper proving that you never been married to that person. The only paper in my country is birth certificate or marriage certificate.
Right, but we're looking for something like a certificate of non-marriedness or something like that. Like I know you can get it.
Find this.
Right, but that's why we need an expert over there. Send us an email and we'll go from there. Okay.
I think you emailed me before. I seen your email, so I will.
Okay. I'll ask Julio. Ask the team to follow up with Lamar. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Lamar. See you, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Jim. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Buddy. Yeah, that's one of their favorite tricks is when you lie to them, they just sort of treat your lie as the gospel, and then you're in a bad shape. Let's say hi to Luis. Hi, Luis.
Hi. Hey, thank you for taking my call here. Yeah, so I have an interesting situation. I applied for a K-1 visa about 2.5 years ago. My fiance at that time, unfortunately, never received the K-1. As a result of such a long wait, the relationship ended. So the relationship ended in, well, I would say about June, July of this year. Unfortunately, I withdrew the K-1 a lot later. I withdrew it in September. Again, the K-1 was never issued, so that's kind of in the past.
So just
So the
real quick,
reason,
just real quick. Sorry, Luis. USCIS approved the I-129F, but the
oh yeah,
embassy never issued the visa.
yeah. So what happened is this: we went through the entire process. She went to the interview. All that stuff happened. She was issued a 221G because there was a missing certified copy of my divorce decree. And they followed up with a DS 5535. We went into this abyss. I mean, that was in November of last year. And like 8 months later, whatever, it's still, I mean, it
Which
never
embassy?
got resolved.
Which embassy?
Down in Bogota, Colombia.
Okay. All right. So you wait, instead of withdrawing it in June, you withdraw it in September. Why is that important?
No. So what's important is that I met another person.
Sure.
Now this person has she has a visitor visa. And initially, my thought was, oh, we hit it off, and hot and heavy, the whole thing. So, she's my fiance now, and I was hoping I could leverage that to get her here, and then we'll do an adjustment of status.
Where is she right now?
She resides in Medellin, Colombia.
So right now she's in Colombia.
Correct.
But you met in America.
No, we met in Panama. We physically met in Panama.
Okay, so is this someone you met online and then you met physically in Panama?
No. I didn't meet her online. I met her through some really good friends, mutual friends of ours. So I had met her, it wasn't like an official meet. I met her a while ago, about a year ago, at a party. But officially, like introduction to the friends and stuff, that didn't happen till August.
Okay. So in USCIS's mind, you had an I-129 in the government's mind open until September, but you met her earlier in the summer. Okay, so what's the question?
So the question is, can she come on her tourist visa? We get married here, and then we do an adjustment of status, or what options do we have to be together?
So this is a tricky thing, right? So the law says that if she has immigrant intent when she comes through customs, that she is in violation of her tourist visa.
I see.
And that they might not let her in, and they might ding her when she applies for adjustment of status. But the law also says that if she were to come to the United States on a visit visa and visits and sees the United States and sees her friend who she met in Panama and who she's communicating with online and everything, if she decides after entry, boy, we're thinking about getting married, we could do the overseas route, but Luis had problems with that before. It really sort of sucks. The embassies suck.
Yeah.
And if she decided towards the end of her 6-month entry to get married and then stay, then she didn't have immigrant intent when she came through. So that's the whole thing. So like we've had many clients get in trouble because they brought all their earthly possessions through customs in their suitcase and they had their wedding dress on top, where it's just so obvious what they're doing. So my position is, as long as her intent, as long as she says, I'm coming to America just to look around and I may or may not get married, or we may, I might come see Luis and he might be this great charmer online and a great charmer in Panama, but when I showed up at his house, he was a total jerk. I'm not saying that's true, but if it's possible, then I think she doesn't have immigrant intent and everything's cool, as long as she's honest about, I'm coming to America to see my friends, including this one guy named Luis, right?
Right. Yeah, she's got her son actually studies on he's on a student visa studying here in the United States, so she could easily just say, "I'm going to come see my kid," and
as long as it's all true, right? Like sometimes people say, sometimes people say I'm coming to see my kid, and then they go to their boyfriend's house. That's not good.
So in that case, she could come and just say that she's going to come on a visit and then we end up,
as long as it's true,
spontaneously. Well, yeah. But how could they know it's not true? I guess. I mean,
just you'd be surprised at what they figure out, especially with Facebook.
All right. So would you say that we have a potential opportunity here, or would you say that, hey, you know what, apply for a second K1 and deal with it?
I hate K1s, and I certainly hate second K1s, and I certainly hate second K1s where someone was divorced before. So no.
Okay. So can I actually work with you guys?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Have you called the office at all? If not,
I did. I did call, and they actually referred me to this YouTube.
Okay.
Call.
I'll have Huli find you. Did you call recently, Luis?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Cool. Thanks, man. We'll follow up.
You got it. I appreciate
it, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yep. You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right. That was Luis. Seems like a nice fellow. Let's say hi to Chalu. Hi, Chalu.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Like I was valid F1 student, and then my program expired. That led me to like out of status, and then I filed reinstatement for I-539.
Yeah.
In March 2021, and then I graduated in May 2022. In the meantime, I applied for EB3 and got the I-140 approval. Like my question is like, should I apply for I-485 and I-765 while waiting for the reinstatement decision?
So when did you fall out of your F1 status?
It was January 4, 2021.
And I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Was that because of something you did or something the school did?
Like because the school like closed and
the school closed.
Yeah, I sent my financial statement for them, and because the school closed, so
when did this? Did you ever attend the school?
Yeah, I did.
When did you start at the school?
I started 2018.
So you're going to the school, you're paying international student rates for like 2 years, and then when you get ready to start your 2021 spring semester, the school shuts down. Right?
It not shut down, like the school just shut down for holidays from December.
What does that have to do with you going out of status? Why that wouldn't knock you out of status? Why were you out of status? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's why I know. It's because like the programs like expired on my I-20. So
the program expired on your I-20. Why? Did the school screw up your I-20?
I don't know. Yeah.
What I'm trying to figure out is this like you stopped paying tuition, you stopped going to class, or is this something?
No, I was still going to school.
So did the school screw up?
Yeah.
Whose mistake was this? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I asked some people too, and like they said, why this happened? Because I'm still like going to school, pay for my tuition, pay for my health insurance.
Right. So, and then how did you get reinstated? Like, tell me, how did that happen? You went to the DSO and said, "Hey, what the heck?" And like, what happened?
Like I submit the I-539 online.
By yourself?
By myself.
Why? This is not how it's supposed to. This is all jacked up, dude.
Because like my advisor like told me to do that, and like she the only one advisor for me.
Did they issue you a new I-20?
No, just reinstatement I-20.
Okay, so in order for me to help you, I have to look at everything. I have to see all the documents. It sounds like the reinstatement might be a problem.
And my relationship with my advisor, I don't think is good.
Yeah, this is a mess. I think you might. I don't know that you should file for a green card. I don't know if you can adjust your status. And I'm worried that if you leave the United States, you might have a bar on coming back because you might have been out of status for a year and a half. So this is really a mess. You should have talked to a lawyer a long time ago, and certainly before you filed the I-140.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and I did like send you guys an email. And,
okay. All right. Well, we'll follow up, but it's a big old mess, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ju. See ya.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Let's say hi to Stan. Hi, Stan.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I like your Bucks shirt.
Thank you. Me and my wife, we met online last year, and we got married. And we wait until 3 months. She filed the I-130.
Yep.
And then I filed the I-485. And then they sent us they schedule a biometric. So I went to the immigration. They do fingerprint like that. And then later on, this summer they sent us request evidence, and then we sent them all the evidence.
And what did they ask for? More marital evidence or something else?
They asked for evidence to describe our marriage.
Okay.
So we sent, insurance, then we sent them some Netflix stuff we had together.
Okay.
Stuff with me and my wife. So my question is, it's been 3 months since they received the request evidence, and then we haven't heard them.
Right. Okay. So just to be clear, did you file the I-130 first and then a couple months later file the 45, or did you file them on the same time?
We did not file them on the same time. We filed the I-1.
So that's going to slow things down because that's going to confuse them. When you sent them the 485, did you include the receipt notice for the I-130?
No, no.
No.
We filed the we filed the I-130 in November, and then in January we filed the I-485.
Right, I know, but when you mailed, so when you filed the I-130, they gave you a receipt notice, a piece of paper that said, "This is your case number."
Yes,
you put that in the 485.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So I think that just filing the I-130 and the 485 separately slowed down your case. The RFE also slowed down your case, but they're already slow. So when did you file the I-130? In last year?
Last year in 2021.
Like December, you said, or November?
In November.
Yeah. So, and then were you on an F1 or what were you before you filed?
I had a tourist visa.
Okay.
And my
tourist when did you enter on the tourist visa?
In 2019, February 2019.
And what country are you from?
I'm from Haiti.
And when did you? So when you got married, you were out of status. You overstayed.
When I got married, Oh, I got married on May 24th, and then my visa got expired in May 31.
So you got married in 2019?
Yes, in 2021.
Wait, I thought you said you entered in February of 2019.
Yes, I entered in US in February 2019, and then I stay at my auntie's house for a couple years, and then I met someone online.
So what I'm saying, so when you entered in February 2019, you were supposed to leave in September of 2019, but you didn't. I'm not mad or anything, but I'm just trying to be clear. You were supposed to leave in September of 2019, but you've never left since entering on February of 2019, right?
That's correct. I never left.
So what I have then is somebody who got married when they were out of status. I have someone who filed an I-130 separately from a 485. I have someone who we weren't real sure the marriage was legit, so he sent a request for evidence, and he sent us back a little bit of evidence. I think you and your wife need a lot of help on this case. Okay. Because when you get married out of status, they think the case is fake. And so you and your wife need a lot of help building a stronger case, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is there any way you can represent me in this case?
Sure. Yeah. Have you called the office?
I called the office and they sent me, so I wanted to talk to him personally if you could.
Yeah. We'll follow up today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. How are we doing on time? Probably got time for one or two more. Let's say hi to Zizu. Hi, Zizu.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. I was sorry.
Zizu dove out of the camera and dropped her cereal bowl.
Yeah. How's everything?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. So I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I came to U.S. in the end of November 2021. So, and I came here, I find something like the totally different person than I used to know. So he cheated on me. He hides a lot of things from me. He lied this. So, and I'm still with him. And now I don't know. So should I just move on? And he said, "Okay, let's just separate this." He always tell me, "Let's separate," and we always come back with separate. But we always in the same house. So
okay. So
go ahead.
When did you meet this person? When did you first meet them?
I met him 2019, April 1st.
Overseas, back in your home country?
Yes.
And then when did you get married?
I got married end of February 2020.
And then he filed an I-130 for you, and that got approved?
And I came here end of November 2021.
And now he's lying and catting around and
not being like crazy with like out of the country. I'm going for work, and I find out something like I cannot even handle this. Is real.
Yeah, that's okay. So then, do you have your physical green card yourself? Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So, what's the start date of your green card?
Start date is will finish on 30 November 2023.
Okay, so you've had it for about you got it right after you came. Months. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So you're about 1 year into the marriage after having your green card.
Yeah.
And so what's your question for me?
So my question is, I know now is even if I still I stay patient for 1 more year, I know it takes long, and I listen to your videos, and I think it's better now to just move on.
Yeah.
And just file for the waiver one, like by myself.
Yep.
And I have. So should we just be just normal, because he always tell me I am the one I brought you here, and he has a lot of problems with his ex, she taking him child support, and there's a lot of things going on. He always tell me, "Oh, just let's finish this, and I will help you to get your paperwork, because I am the one I brought you to this bullshit." So it's better we just get divorced and normal, or I wait for him if he want to get divorced. Like, I need your opinion, and I have all over like ideas just like running all over my head. I don't know really to do, like, so just will be like, we understand, we just get divorced and we will be normal, that our marriage, it was really real marriage, and I have pictures of with him in the country. We travel all over the places. It was real marriage, or I filed by myself like the waiver alone, or I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so first of all, I'm sorry you're going through this.
Thank you so much.
Second of all, do you trust him?
I do.
You do?
I do trust him with these things. I don't trust him in other things, but I trust him in this one.
But if you, I don't care. I don't give a damn about him helping you. We don't need his. We don't need his help. We don't need his help. I don't need him. You can get your green card without him. Mm-hmm. So let's say there was no immigration piece to this. If you were a U.S. citizen right now, what would you do?
I will leave, honestly, because it's like I feel so bad every single day.
I'm sure, Zizou. I want you to get out of there. I mean, number one, I want you to feel safe. So first and foremost, safe, and that means physically. That means physically safe, emotionally safe. This guy sounds completely toxic. I asked if you trust him, and you said yes, but I don't think you can trust him on anything.
Yeah.
So if you have the support system to leave, like, I'm not a divorce lawyer, right? I don't know all that stuff, but from an immigration standpoint, you have all the freedom in the world to leave him. So I don't want you to feel from an immigration standpoint that you have to stay, right?
Yeah. So, okay. So I just like leave and apply for the waiver, yeah?
Yeah, you got to get divorced and then you can apply for the waiver. Yep.
So it's better I just do as soon as possible to just.
Well, and remember, you were saying, sorry, you were saying, will I need to show that it was a real marriage with my evidence, or will I do it by myself with the waiver? I'm going to advocate both. You still want to prove up that the marriage was real, and you want to ask for the waiver. The argument you're going to be making is this was a real marriage. I loved him. I came to America. I dropped everything to be with him, and he wasn't a good guy.
And I have like pictures of the country. I have all the evidence of cheating and everything I have.
Yeah. So first and foremost, mental safety, emotional safety, physical safety. Get someplace safe. Get someplace where you have some freedom of movement, and then talk to a divorce lawyer. If you want to email me at the office, I'll help you find a good one where you live. Okay. And then we can go from there. But from an immigration standpoint, we don't need his ass at all. And in fact, from an immigration standpoint, I'd rather do it with us by ourselves than with him. And when I say, do you trust him? That means like, yeah, today he's being okay, but what about on the day of the interview? Or what about the weeks leading up to the interview? How's he going to be? Who knows, right?
Yeah. Because the one who's doing this, they can't like do anything.
No, you can't rely on him.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much. I will contact Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You got it, Zizou. Hang in there. I'm sorry. I'll be thinking about you, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Well, that's a hell of a way to end. Everybody's wishing Zizou well. Everyone leave a little comment lifting up Zizou before I wrap the show. I'll go a little bit longer. Listen, I keep asking you guys to leave us a review. I really need you to leave us a positive review. We need some reviews. Maho's mad at me. The marketing team's mad at me. I need 5 people to leave us a 5-star review, if you would. I'd really appreciate it. But that was sad. I did not like that. I don't like those kind of calls. But I really do believe that Zizou has options, and they sure don't involve this shitbird. So hopefully she'll get rid of him. Hopefully, yeah. Well, the link is right there. reviewhackinglaw.com. That's all you got to do. All right. So Huli put it up. Our next show will be on Monday. We'll be here Monday at 4, a late start for us. I think that's because I have a busy day on Monday. Fingers crossed, we will be signing the paperwork on the new world headquarters of hacking immigration law. We're moving 1 mile down the street, 1.1 miles. I walked it on my walk. And we're going to have our own building. It's on the other side of the street. It's a mile from here. We're very excited. It's been a long time coming. We first looked at this thing in May, so it's taken a long time, but hopefully we will pull that off. That's on Monday morning, so say a little prayer, and we will hopefully have good news to report. At 4 p.m., we'll also have the results of our Halloween door decoration, and I may or may not be in costume. So we'll see you on Monday. Thanks, everybody.